The boss tells Eduardo that he needs the documents urgently, and Eduardo replied, "You can rest assured." And then they say goodbye. Upon entering the room, he asks, "Dona Samia, may I know what you are doing in here?" And she says, "Boss? I'm just organizing his work environment," and he says, "Okay, you can continue then. I forgot my cell phone, I just came to get it and I'm leaving." And he takes it and leaves the room. The boss calls Eduardo and says, "Look Eduardo, I think Samia is up to something. We have to come up with a plan to unmask her and ask him to go to her room in 5 minutes." The boss tells Eduardo that he only has 10 days to deliver the documents and he still hadn't delivered them, and Eduardo says, "I don't know what else to do. I think it's better if we pay someone to do this," and the boss says, "Pay? How to pay someone to do your job? You do it and very well, it's okay, we still have time to think and get up." The boss goes to Samia and says, "I need you to clean my room, because I have a business meeting," and she says, "Yes sir, you can let me, I'll clean everything." Soon they leave. The boss asked Eduardo, "Did you manage to solve the paperwork?" And Eduardo says, "Not yet, but I promise that this week I'll deliver it to you," and the boss says, "Okay, but I need it for this week, see," and Eduardo says, "You can leave the boss." The boss calls Samia and praises the coffee, but she needs to clear the table, because later I have another meeting, and she says, "You can leave boss, I'll clean everything," and they leave her alone. Samia calls her son and says, "Hi my love, how are you?" And he says, "Hi mom, I'm getting better," and asks how you are at work. And she says that it's great, and that she was having breakfast, and that there were apples, mangoes, and milk, and that every day she ate all this, and the boy says, "Our mom. Are you eating all this? When I get better, will I be able to eat all of this too?" And she says, "Of course, my love, when you get better, mom will give you all this and more, but now I'm going back to work, because it's very busy here today," and the boy says, "Okay mom, can I call you later?" She says, "Of course my son, we'll talk later," and say goodbye. The boss enters the room and says, "Samia, can you tell me what is happening here?" And she says, sorry, I can explain everything," and the boss says, "Samia, I don't want to know, give me your lab coat now." And Samia says, "No, my God doesn't fire me," and he says, "Samia, I'm just going to ask one more time, give me your lab coat now." And Samia says, "Please don't fire me, I swear I'll never do that again," and Eduardo says, Samia does what he's asking, and gives him the lab coat, and Samia says to her boss, "I came from the countryside, to get a job in my area, but as I couldn't, I'm working as a maid now, and I have a son, and he is very sick, and I need to work to support him," and the boss says, "Samia, I'm sorry, but I don't want to know. Just hand me the lab coat," and asks Eduardo to take Samia to the RH, because she was the new lawyer in his office. Samia celebrates and is serious. "I'm very happy, and thank you." The boss says, "Look, I analyzed all the roles here you did, and you did a great job. You are a great professional, and I would not allow you to continue working as a domestic. Not that this job is less, but you deserve better," and she asks, "Are you serious?" And he says, "Yes, and tomorrow, I want to meet you here at 8 o'clock without fail," and she thanks him and says she's very happy, and asks if she could give him a hug. He confirms, and they hug, and she says, "Wow, thank you so much for having understood me, and I apologize for anything," and the boss says, "That's it Samia, see you tomorrow."